Physically, now I don't know what the truth is, but all these reports are that he has 2 fractured orbitals and a broken nose. Just that alone, just the orbitals alone, like anytime you've got eye injuries, like anything severe with your eyes, long-term consequences vary.
It's psychological.
Absolutely.
And
your
physical,
body heals.
and physical.
The body is resilient.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm telling you,
broken bones make stronger bones. Like that is his orbital bones will be stronger.
It depends on where, though, Justin. The orbital bone, I had my orbital broken, and for 6 months, I do this and my tooth would move. And it's right where my sinus cavity is. You remember when you hit me with the spinning elbow?
Your tooth would move? Dude, when you push
right
on
here,
your cheek?
and my tooth would move.
Oh, God.
I still feel the soft spot, but this is a very weak area where your sinus cavity is. And you broke both orbitals and the nose.
After a hard-fought battle, the biggest question in MMA isn't always about who had their hand raised. More often, it's about what comes next. Cuts and injuries may heal with time, but a difficult defeat can leave lasting effects that go far beyond the physical. That conversation is now surrounding Ilia Topuria following his tough loss to Justin Gaethje. Across the MMA community, fans are debating whether this setback will become a valuable learning experience that helps him grow, or whether it could permanently influence the way he fights in the future. It's a familiar discussion in UFC history because both outcomes have happened before. Some athletes have endured the most painful losses of their careers only to return more skilled, more composed, and better prepared than ever, using defeat as the motivation to reach an even higher level.
And that's when he reacted, and he must have said no more.
I mean, he wanted to continue to fight, let the guy go. So he sits in the corner, tells his cornerman he can't see. And then he's got the doctor doing the eye test, and the doctor's saying no. It's like, oh, this fight's fucking over. But then they let him continue. But I don't know who threw in the towel in the 4th. It's almost like Goddard said, the fight's fucking over.
No, his brother said we're going to keep fighting, and then he looked into his brother's eyes, and then he waved it off.
Ilia literally could have walked off and been champ. If Ilia, when he hit him with that liver shot and Gaethje kind of went down, if he would have walked off, the ref would have stopped that fight. If you get hit with those liver shots and you kind of cramp up, you can't just get up. You kind of just are there for a sec. So if he walked off and Gaethje's just laying there, maybe the ref tries to stand him up or whatever, but...
Not every fighter is able to regain the confidence, momentum, and fearlessness that once made them stand out. That's exactly why so much attention is now focused on Ilia Topuria's road back. Fans, analysts, and fellow fighters are all waiting to see how he responds to the toughest setback of his career. The way he handles this defeat could ultimately shape the next chapter of his journey inside the octagon.
And I'm not saying he cheated or anything. I'm just saying, I guarantee you don't want to go into battle thinking, had this huge fight with my wife. You don't want any of those thoughts in your head before a fight.
I mean, Ilia Topuria, in previous fights, you could tell he always had like his family, his wife, his kids. I just watched a documentary that came out on Ilia Topuria, and he was just talking about how much he loved his girl. And that could have been his fault that they got a divorce. I wonder how much that had to do with everything.
It had everything to do with everything. It's all connected.
Yeah, Ilia's in the hospital. He's busted up. You know, I'm not a doctor, but his eye looked like he probably has a broken orbital. I don't know that's not a fact, but I'm just assuming. And my plans for him are to go home and rest and recover and take his time. And you know, tonight was a rough night for him. I just want to make sure he's healthy and good and not even thinking about him fighting again. Just want him to go home and relax and rest and heal.
The way Topuria responds from this point forward could ultimately define how his entire career is remembered. His next few performances may have a lasting impact on the legacy he builds in the UFC. Reflecting on the fight, many analysts believe Justin Gaethje's experience was the key difference. Instead of letting Topuria control the action, Gaethje steadily took command of the pace, pressured him throughout the contest, and repeatedly drew him into difficult exchanges. It was the type of relentless approach that has made Gaethje one of the most respected and dangerous veterans in mixed martial arts.
I think we just witnessed probably the greatest fight of this year. Ilia Topuria taking on Justin Gaethje. Now I'm gonna start off right here. I was one who picked against Justin Gaethje. When you look at Justin Gaethje's previous fights, when he's fought Dustin Poirier, when he's fought Charles Oliveira, when he's fought Khabib Nurmagomedov, when he's fought Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje gets dropped. He gets dropped and he gets finished. I mean, that's something that we've seen time and time again in his career. And what would make no different when he's fighting a guy like Ilia Topuria, Where Ilia Topuria, what he does is he puts people to sleep. Max Holloway puts him to sleep. Charles Oliveira puts him to sleep. Alex Volkanovski got put to sleep. And you guys might hate me for this, but the best thing Justin Gaethje can do is retire. He should retire on this amazing victory against a legend like Ilia Topuria. I mean, I keep saying Ilia Topuria's a legend. He's still young in his career, but he's a phenomenal athlete. You retire on top. You save your brain cells. You ride off in a sunset. You beat one of the best athletes. You gave him his first fucking defeat right away with the White House belt and the undisputed lightweight championship.
As the fight progressed, the punishment continued to build, and by the time it came to an end, it was obvious that Topuria had endured one of the most demanding battles of his professional career. Now the attention turns away from the result itself and toward the recovery process. Healing isn't only about physical injuries, especially after taking significant damage to the face. A fighter must also rebuild confidence, become comfortable in sparring again, trust their instincts under pressure, and regain the timing and sharpness needed to compete with the elite level of the UFC.
Ilia comes out, he's wandering into jabs like he's never boxed a day in his life. Generational aura loss for Ilia Topuria. The amount of energy and just absolute confidence that he was going to go out there and Justin Gaethje and KO Justin Gaethje in round 1 that he had going into this fight, for it to be turned upside down almost immediately in round 1 while Justin Gaethje is on the back foot, stinging Ilia Topuria with jabs, opened up a cut on his eye. We noticed that on the fight week build-up when they did the ESPN MMA interview. He had stitches on his eye. Justin Gaethje immediately opens that up with his jab. Ilia Topuria is wandering in, high and tight guard, wandering forwards into Justin Gaethje, and just getting stung by jabs non-stop.
It's a journey that takes patience and can't be hurried, particularly when the next fight is likely to come against world-class competition. One reason for optimism among Topuria's supporters is the mindset he has displayed throughout his career. He has consistently been known for his confidence, unwavering belief in his abilities, and his willingness to face any challenge without hesitation.
Skill set in there, said probably the second best guy you prepared for outside of Khabib. But now that you're through Ilia, was he as good as you thought he was? Was he better than you thought he was? Just can you talk about what you experienced in there with him?
I mean, he's very good. I mean, my liver still hurts right now. Those body shots were crazy. I mean, he was really, really fast, but when he didn't get the finish at the end of the second round, I think it really took his spirit. And, again, I said it in the press conference leading up, he really backed himself into a corner saying he's going to be so dominant. And I said it, when we go to the second round, you're going to be like, what the When we go to the third round, you're going to be like, what the that's what I did tonight.
Did you feel he was broken after he didn't get that finish?
I never felt he was broken because he was so dangerous at the whole time.
Wow, that guy's crazy. Man, look at that dude.
Justin Gaethje, the biggest underdog on the card. Ilia Topuria, the new sensation, the new superstar of the sport, just got pieced up, demolished, and stopped by the doctor at the end of round 4. Justin Gaethje, the highlights, gets it done.
That's why many believe this setback could eventually become a defining moment in Topuria's career. A difficult loss can reveal areas that constant success often hides, giving a fighter the chance to improve and develop in ways that victories alone never could. The biggest question now is what comes next once he's ready to compete again. Will the UFC match him against another top-ranked contender right away? Or could a showdown with Paddy Pimblett emerge as the ideal fight for his return to the octagon?
Lad, undisputed champion, you deserve it after your career, but now I want that rematch. I am going to finish BSD and I want that rematch with Justin Gaethje for the undisputed title. I told you, didn't I? It was fate. Justin Gaethje, man, that's off to you. You deserve it for the fucking heavy career you've had. You absolutely deserve it, lad. Everyone gave me shit for getting beat by him. What now? What now, lad? Thought he was finished, thought he was 38, thought he was over the hill, and then he's just beat you. Greatest fighter of all time, Ilia Topuria, you fucking gang of gobshite. I went 5 with him. I took every fucking shot that he threw at me and kept walking forward. This little bitch has just quit after 4 rounds. That's what this little bitch has just done. Look at him, sat on his stool. I kept fucking walking forward at Gaethje for 5 rounds and didn't have an ounce of quit in me because I'm a proper fighter.
Ilia loses to Justin. What did you think of the fight?
When I saw that, I couldn't believe, to be honest. And yeah, I was happy.
So what did you think about how it actually played out?
He felt so confident that like I'm going there and knock him out.
When you take damage like this, you're never gonna be same. Never ever. You know, he take too much damage. You know, you see how he tap, how he give up end of the five round. He go like this.
I don't often make predictions. I don't. But I said multiple times sitting in this chair, talking to that camera or to a guest, that I question why the UFC would have an event which was being billed as a celebration of America and book a main event in which an American was going to be knocked out in the main event. I said it. And so I have to eat crow. I have to apologize to Justin Gaethje. This is the business that we're in. You make picks, you pick a side. Justin Gaethje, what he did on Sunday is the highlight of his career, obviously, and apropos given the fact that he is nicknamed the highlight.
Or will Topuria choose to stay out a little longer, fully reset both physically and mentally, and return only when he feels ready to perform at a championship level again? No matter which path he takes, one thing is clear. A single tough defeat hasn't reduced the excitement surrounding Ilia Topuria. If anything, fans across the MMA world are now even more eager to see how he responds to this challenge. Champions are celebrated for the victories they earn, but their true legacy is often shaped by the way they overcome setbacks. The next time Topuria makes the walk to the octagon, the spotlight won't be focused solely on whether he wins or loses. Fans will be watching to see how those hard lessons have transformed him and what version of Topuria returns to compete.
I knew that was going to happen to him. Walking forward with their hands down on the opening bell, you're going to get walloped.
People saying I'm juiced, what a compliment. People saying I got bricks in my fucking gloves, what a compliment.
Do you see the picture of the image? There's like rocks in his hands.
What a compliment.
Have they not watched any of his fights?
As ambitious as you are, you can never make everybody happy.
No. That's why it's hard to be a champion.
Which sucks.
The pressure.
You know for a fact, you do not ever as a fighter say, I cannot see. It's over. Right. And he was counting on that. He said he had already stated it. He didn't need to say it again. I stopped him twice. That night. There's no doubt about it.
What makes this situation so compelling is that one loss has completely changed the conversation around Ilia Topuria. Before this fight, he was widely viewed as one of the most dominant and unstoppable competitors in MMA, with relentless pressure, unwavering confidence, and exceptional finishing ability, making him a nightmare for any opponent. Now the discussion has shifted. Instead of asking how high Topuria can climb, fans and analysts are focused on something entirely different: how he responds when faced with real adversity. Moments like these often shape a fighter's legacy more than their victories ever do. Winning strengthens belief, but overcoming setbacks is what helps create complete champions. Throughout UFC history, many legendary fighters have admitted they learned more from a single defeat than from years of success. A loss forces an athlete to step back, evaluate every aspect of their game, and identify weaknesses that may have gone unnoticed while everything was going their way. That's why so many coaches believe difficult setbacks can become the starting point for a fighter's greatest improvements rather than the end of their rise. Looking back at the matchup with Justin Gaethje, one of the biggest factors was the pace of the fight. Gaethje has built his reputation on pushing elite opponents into relentless battles, giving them little time to settle and making every exchange physically exhausting. That strategy appeared to play a major role once again. Instead of allowing Topuria to establish his preferred rhythm, Gaethje gradually took control of the tempo and forced the contest to unfold on his own terms. As the momentum shifted, it became increasingly difficult for Topuria to regain control. That has led to plenty of debate about what changes might come next. Will he adopt a more patient approach? Could he become more selective instead of applying non-stop pressure? Might he further develop his striking and defensive movement? Or will he continue trusting the aggressive style that helped turn him into one of the UFC's biggest stars?
Ilia has some dense-ass bones, because I could have sworn that was broken. That's amazing. So if what we're assuming is correct, he's not going to need surgery. He's going to be able to heal up a lot faster and get in. He's not going to have this 6-week period where he can't, be in the gym. doing anything because he had that surgery. Now he can still do his cardio. He can probably do pad work soon. Hit the bag, jump rope, and I don't know about any contact. Even if it's light drilling, I wouldn't recommend that. For him to fight December, it's 6 months. I don't like to rush young guys like that. I don't like to get a superstar, and when they have some trials and tribulations, push them in there too fast. Me personally, if I was his coach or manager, I would not put him in there this year. I'd let him just kind of like get focused, get recharged, get recovered, you know. And I know
those discussions are already spreading across the MMA community because everyone knows that the sport's best athletes never stop improving. They are always refining their skills, adjusting their strategies, and searching for the small changes that could make the difference in their next performance. Recovery isn't only about healing the body. There's a mental battle as well, and it's one that fans don't always see. While physical injuries recover with time, restoring confidence after the toughest loss of your career can be an even greater challenge. Every fighter eventually reaches a point where they must prove to themselves that they still belong at the highest level. They have to trust their instincts again, believe in the work they've put in, and walk back into the octagon convinced they can perform at their very best despite past setbacks. For many champions, that moment becomes the beginning of a new chapter. That's why counting Ilia Topuria out after a single defeat would likely be premature. MMA history is filled with fighters who were written off after a painful loss, only to return months later looking more composed, more experienced, and more complete than ever before. Adversity often changes a fighter in ways that victories never can, bringing greater maturity, sharper decision-making, and a deeper understanding of what it takes to remain among the elite. At the same time, the lightweight division won't pause while Topuria recovers. New contenders will continue climbing the rankings, fresh rivalries will emerge, and the UFC will keep moving forward. That makes his eventual return even more significant, because the opponent standing across from him could influence the future of the entire division. Whether it's another elite contender, an up-and-coming challenger, or a highly anticipated rivalry, the expectations surrounding that fight will be enormous.
A fight should be stopped the moment your athlete can no longer win, not the moment the crowd ceases to be satisfied and or entertained. And there are promoters, some very respected, where that is what they want. If that athlete can continue, if he's willing to show the heart or grit, if the crowd is continuing to cheer, this is what I paid for and let it go. I'm just sharing with you. I'm a prude. I don't believe in that. But I'm disclosing my metric and my bar for you because Ilia Topuria could still win that fight. Mark Goddard, I just think he's the best. I just think that Mark Goddard has served this sport so well. I think this sport is in a better place because of him. Is there a compliment bigger you could give? He wouldn't accept that. If he heard me say, "Oh, chill," that's not true. But I believe it is. I believe that Mark Goddard has done such a good job. He's the guy people want. When people get in the back and they see Mark Goddard, because they know they're going to be safe. You will not get injured on Mark Goddard's watch.
That's the question everyone is asking. Was this defeat nothing more than an off night? Or will it become the experience that pushes Ilia Topuria to reach an even higher level as a fighter? At this stage, no one knows the answer. But if the history of mixed martial arts has shown us anything, it's that some of the sport's greatest comeback stories begin immediately after its most difficult setbacks. That's why so many fans continue to follow Topuria's journey with so much interest. The next time he makes the walk to the octagon, people won't be watching only to see whether he wins. They'll be looking to find out if this challenging chapter became the turning point that laid the foundation for an even stronger and more complete version of Ilia Topuria.